Give me more.
The truth, everything, y'all. Tune the fuck in. Welcome back to How Is Life Behind Your Lens. It's your girl, Mickey Boo. Y'all know we got to keep bringing the best of the best on the show. We got your boy Mozzie in the building. Y'all, he is an artist. He is a teacher. He is so many different great things. I'm just going to let him explain it because it's a long list. So let's get into it. Mozzie?
I'm good. How you doing, Mickey?
I'm good. Let them folks know.
I'm an artist. We could just keep it as simple as that.
Okay.
Yeah, let's go there. Cause we'll go all over the place if we get into what I do for the kids, what I do for the community, what I do for the ladies. It could get a whole long list of things that don't tie into.
I got you. Okay, so Mozzie as the artist is what we're gonna unpack, right?
Yeah. I mean, we
So,
could get into the person too. You know what I mean, it's free game.
are we definitely doing that? Because we need to know.
Yeah.
So, I discovered you on Instagram. Your
Okay.
page is really huge. Your music is popping off. You
Thank
stood out to me because of the things that you talk about in your music.
Yeah.
So nowadays, people like J. Cole, B.O.B., like when they speak about spiritual things, or any type of knowledge that we could use for our community, you don't hear it as much. Like you hear Moneybag Yo, Lil Baby, the
Yeah.
Baby, and things of that nature.
Yeah.
So when I seen you, the quality's great. Like where you're shooting the video is not a whole bunch of different distractions in the background.
Mhm.
It's you and you're speaking about what you're talking about. And I want to talk about that.
Yeah.
So you go by Mozzie. First of all,
Yeah.
where can they find you to even know what we're talking about?
So you can find me everywhere in Mozzie Music. That's on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm something huge on Facebook, especially in Africa.
Okay.
We get in that later.
Okay.
But my main page where I want everybody to go is mozziemusic.com. That's where I have all the latest updates. That's where I build my community. So the people that actually are fans of the music, they can not only find it, but you can get exclusive stuff, merch,
The whole nine. Whatever you got going.
You could book me. You could get in contact with me. You can follow me on all the different platforms. So mozziemusic.com is where you should go. Yeah. MAUZY music.com.
Period. So what genre would you say that your music is in?
I think it's people put it in, rap and hip hop mostly. It's a lot of different elements into it. One could say I've made a pop song, I've made a reggae song, I've made a gospel record, but at the essence, it started off with me like just rapping like at the lunch table, and that's where it started, and that's kind of the foundation of the music. It's just the words.
Okay, so let's get into the words.
Yeah.
Can you give me like a bar or two? And then we elaborate on that, like something that was important to you that stood out in your music that you spoke of, like, dang, that was really raw, like, and it was deep.
I have this song called Rotation. You gonna do the beatboxing?
No,
Mickey
because
Boo
I
on
don't
the
really got no
beatbox?
beat. I don't know. I don't got no rhythm.
You put me on
No,
the spot.
I don't got no rhythm.
Let's go ahead. Put you on
No,
the
okay, I'm
spot.
sorry. I'll behave. I'm sorry.
I think I had a song called Rotation, and at first glance, you would think that it was about smoking, which it is. But essentially, the song was about putting something in rotation, and that could be looked at in a multitude of different ways. I'll be about just drugs, but it's not just about drugs. It was really about when you putting something in rotation with you, your people, your family, whoever you might be smoking with. It's like fellowship. I mean, it's like it's kicking it, and it ain't even really the act of getting high. It's really the the sharing. I mean, I roll this up, I light it up, I share with
So
you,
teamwork.
and we share thoughts and stuff like that. Just spread love. So I think the verse goes, I didn't come on here to sound like I was Socrates. I just thought I'd put you down on my philosophy. When I was down and out and I ain't have a pot to pee, my people smoking with me really meant a lot to me. Not just because I could get a buzz, different strands, it didn't matter what it was. As long as you lace it with a little bit of love, I can't fake it. That's my favorite kind of drug. I mean, like, really just spreading that with somebody, and it don't even have to be
Got you.
smoking. It could be like just kicking it. It could be food. I mean, I love like having dinners with me and the fam, or me and my friends, like where we
So
just
giving, kind of giving,
yeah,
taking the rotation.
yeah, community. That's a lot of what my stuff is about. I mean, even when you bring up me working with the kids, like that's really some community building shit that I really believe in.
Speaking of community,
Uh-huh.
so I like to give back, like a
Do
little
you?
neighborhood inspiration.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
How so?
So, like your music, intellect.
Yeah.
I want to know when you talk about the things that you talk about or what you talk about, why do you talk about that in particular? Why did you choose out of all the things in the world to express yourself that way?
Well, it's me, you know. You got I think it's a lot of rap music. I say rap music. Because for some reason in every other genre you rap about things or not rap, you sing about things or you just talk about things that are universal. Love, um, fear, tragedy, you know, country music and rock music, they all talk about feelings.
Mm-hmm.
Rap music, for some reason, is the only genre where people come into this motherfucker and they try and rap about things that aren't them. And I don't understand it. I get it a little bit because it's enticing and it's sexy to other people who just watching it. Like, oh wow, you did that, or this is the life you live. All the time they didn't.
Right.
I've lived a life.
It's storytelling,
Come on.
but more
It's
like a fairy tale.
but it's come on now, which is why I understand it. So why I do understand that you have the ability to tell whatever story you want, and people are like it because of the instrumentation that it might be over. I can only do me, and that means rapping about my experiences or rapping about not only what I've experienced in my life, but what I want for the world. So when we talk about community, I never had like a huge community growing up. I never um, had a big clique. You know what I mean? I moved around a lot when I was a kid from different city to city, place to place.
Same.
And I've always wanted that.
Yeah.
I've always knew that community is the basis for how you build anything great.
Correct.
So that's why I rap about it. That's why I try and nurture it in real life, is because that's what's needed. I rap about love because it ain't like I'm just this super lover boy that's been in love with every bitch I meet. But I rap about it because I know that's the real shit. I fucked a million women that don't equate. So I can rap about both and I can rap about all things. But when you talk about community, I'll rap about that because this shit is necessary, especially for people of a certain hue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, how was life behind your lens? Let's speak about those experiences that you encountered. And I want to follow up on like, what was your response to things you may have gone through in the past and how you respond now? Like, what does that look like for you?
Let's get beyond my lens.
Facts.
Let's take it all. Let's get serious. Life behind my lens is beautiful. I look at everything that's happened as though it's for my greater good. So if it was I've had a million great experiences, amazing experiences. I've made amazing music. I've met beautiful people. I've traveled all around the world. And I've also had some experiences that weren't so beautiful. But it's always about how you look at certain things. So you could have somebody that didn't have a father in their life, right? And they grow up. And depending on your perspective, that's going to shape how your life is or how beautiful your life is, because you could look at it and be like, damn, he wasn't in my life. I ain't going to be in my kid's life. Or you could look at it and be like, he ain't in my life, so I'm going to be the best father that I can possibly be.
Or be the father I wanted to be.
Exactly.
Or wanted to have.
Exactly. So, it's all about perspective.
Yes,
so
it is.
My lens is seeing everything through wide eye, colorful perspective and view.
Perspectives as openness, or do you have like a certain way you like to think?
Well, I'm open.
Right. They don't know.
Well, yeah.
I enjoy you as a person and the
right.
way that you think.
Yeah.
That's why I want you to express it, because I need others to see what I see.
Yeah,
I definitely think it's beautiful.
Yeah, right. No, I'm very open. I feel like if you're not open to life's wonders and all of the mysterious things that life has to offer,
you're gonna miss a lot of blessings.
You're gonna miss a lot of shit.
Yeah.
You only close to this little box, and I ain't never like to be boxed in.
Right.
Ever. So, yeah, I believe everybody should be more open. Like, my situation. Like, I ain't gonna speak about it. We ain't gonna talk about it right here.
Now they want to know that you didn't say it that.
Well, we're just gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it there, and you interpret how you want to. But when you are open, it's a certain freedom in that.
Yes.
And
yes.
When you are free, then and you're not constrained by nothing.
You can breathe, actually.
Yeah.
As well.
You could do
being in a box keeps you tied to certain conditions and ways of things, and it may not even fit you.
Yeah.
So you're struggling to try to make something be for you or around you or to cope with and work with, but it's irritating you. It's not working because it's not for you.
Yeah.
But having an open mind, an open heart, and an open thought process to being able to change when change happens. Or with certain, you can even go back in your past and look at a situation. Of course, you're going to have two thoughts about it. You're going to have the thought you had when it happened a long time ago. And then if you are mature and you have grown, you will be able to see it a different way when you look at it from now, right?
Yeah.
So if you're open, you can go back in and change your perspective. And then now you may have healed yourself from a trauma that you couldn't get over because you had to look at it differently.
Talk about it.
So I love the whole openness. I had to learn that the hard way myself. I feel like it was hard for me to receive from a certain person or a certain thing because I was closed off to it. You never know where your blessing is going to come from. You never know where your help is going to come from.
Yeah.
Same as you have to know people to get in certain doors, right?
Yeah.
And if you judge someone based off how they look or what you may have heard and you don't even know the truth about it, anything, and you decline that offer because of your thought process of what you was conditioned to think, like you just messed up somewhere, someone and something or somewhere you could have gone because you were not open. You were not in leadership of your own self, and however people set their lives up to think, their minds up to think.
I see beauty in everything. So I could meet somebody and you might not think that they're cool.
Right.
They might not be cool. They might not have a drip shit like that. But they really got a whole different mindset. Or they look at things differently.
And they could put you on to something that you exactly. Yep.
So when you living like that and you not judging people, you open to different experiences. You know what I mean? I've skydived.
Yeah.
I've done things that people fear. Not everything.
I get what you're saying though. You have to know when and when not.
Right.
But you want to be more open than closed off.
Right.
So yeah, definitely.
Like I've never done crack.
I see.
Mickey.
What do you believe in? What do you believe?
I believe a lot of things. I believe in myself. I believe in a higher power. Which is kind of one and the same. A lot of people, they'll believe in a higher power, but they won't believe in themselves, which is kind of contradictory, right? Because even if, say, you got to go to run a marathon, right? And you're training to run a marathon, but you don't think you can make it. You training and training and training, and it don't seem like it's getting no better, and like you don't think you can make it, and then you quit. But if you was really, 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 really faithful in, whatever source you believe in, I wanted to share a quote with the world. And this may not be a direct quote, but I saw this when an MMA fighter is named Israel Adesanya. He won the championship, and this is after he lost the championship. Or I don't know if he lost the championship, but the dude he beat, he lost to previously.
Mm-hmm.
And I share the same sentiment. This level of freedom, this level of happiness that I talk about and that we've talked about on the show, I want every single person that's watching this and receiving the words that we putting out. I want y'all to feel that. I want y'all to feel the level of happiness that you only get when you go for something truly in your life. If you just living, you know, within a system, within a box, just going through life, going through the motions, you will never, ever, ever experience all the beauty that the world has to offer. And it's so beautiful. I tell the kids this all the time because the kids, that we work with, they on the west side. A lot of them don't know nothing but the west side. And I told this kid, there's so many beautiful things on the other side of fear. And if you continue to listen to the haters, the people that don't share your dreams, the people that don't dream as big as you, the people that just have had life beat their ass, if you continue to listen to them, you'll never feel it.
Right.
But if you do decide to go for something and figure out what it is that you want on your journey to doing that, you're going to feel a level of bliss, joy, and fulfillment that I can't really describe 2 times.
So to give a different perspective of what he's saying, you would know that you have reached that or even begin to get there. It's like a newborn baby latching on for the first time its mom's breast and tasting that milk. In the Bible, they speak of it, they call it honey milk or something like that, right? Oh, you don't read the Bible?
I never heard nothing about
The honey
breast
milk?
milk. No.
Oh, well, the honey milk is okay. We gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
But anyway, it's like tasting that milk for the first time, and that's when you know that you have met God because you allowed God to show up in your life in a way that you never expected. It is bigger, is better, and it lasts a lot longer. Once you've experienced that, of course, to get there, you have to let go of some of that control that we are so strongly holding on to. Being able to remain calm and take a step back and breathe. Just knowing that you have done all that you can do and then allowing the process to take its course or finish out what is happening because it's never done. This journey is never finished. Like once you've learned and got through so many different obstacles, you're going to go on your journey and you're going to be happy for that moment, and then another occurrence of things are going to take place, and then you have to use those tools that you use to get through that to get through the next thing. So
and pick up some more tools
exactly along the way. So it's just very important that you keep those key points in mind, to remain calm, to take a deep breath, to allow God to show up in your situations for you. And I know that we've been taught a certain type of way to have a relationship with God, but it's worked for me to be myself with God. And along the way, God has shown me and helped me change. It wasn't a you can't go to God because I'm not perfect. It was simply, this is who I am. And I'm going to have this conversation with God, how I am. And then I saw myself breaking certain habits, breaking certain conditioned mindsets. And once I saw that peace, that beauty, and gained that belief and that confidence and hope, it was like, whoa, like this stuff really works. I get what they're saying, but at the same time, this is my experience, and you put the two together. So it's experience with your baseline of faith. And again, experience is the number one teacher. But that peace and that, I think we're all going to get there, just at different times. And different things bring out different things in people.
And and when you speak about timing, I think that's so important to know, because when you believe that something's supposed to happen in a certain amount of time and then it doesn't happen, you end up fucking up the whole thing.
Yeah.
Right? Because then you grow seeds of doubt. Now it's like, oh, it's not happening for you. Now it's like you doubting if it's even gonna happen. And I like to pair it to this this folk tale of somebody who plants a seed and they expect the seed to grow like immediately or within a timetable or whatever, but you can't control that. Once you put the seed in, what you do, all you could do is water it, make sure it get the sunshine that it needs. Sometimes motherfuckers even talk to the plants and you just give it love, attention, and care. And you feed it to the dream. But if you plant the seed and then the seed not growing immediately, you might dig the seed up.
Right.
You fuck up the whole thing because it was planting deep roots that you couldn't even see
before it came up.
Before it comes up. And it could have been the biggest.
It could have been a tree.
The biggest tree you ever seen.
Yeah.
But you wouldn't know because you think that something has to happen in a certain amount of time. And God only knows that time.
And to speak about time from a different perspective, time is earth-based because it helps us to know, it helps us to know when to meet up for a certain event in time. We're going to meet Tuesday at 3:00 at so-and-so place. It just helps us to correlate better with each other. That's not how you communicate with God. So people say patience is a virtue. Oh, I don't know how to be patient. It's not even a no thing. It's a do thing. It's something that just must be done. And another thing, people get caught up on if God can hear them or not. God hears you everything. Second. Yeah. It's not through a person. It's not a third party. If you believe with how you're supposed to believe, time wouldn't even be an issue because you know it's happening and it's going to happen quickly. It happens faster when you're aligned with the Most High. The only time it's at a distance is when you said, oh, it's going to happen next week. Oh, soon. Or maybe. You put the time on that. But when you know God, you already know what's going to happen. And then when you know God, because of the characteristics, you see it in the moment. You can see yourself leading up to that thing because you have a connection with God. Yeah. You're God-like at this point.
You're faithful in it. I mean, you have to have faith that even if it ain't happened today, I think it'll happen tomorrow. If it don't happen tomorrow, I'm thinking, even if I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow, I know it's going to happen.
So in that case, it has to be let go. You say it, you let it go, and you know that God heard you. God is constantly and I think that's so beautiful when I found out that God hears me immediately. Because I used to say, and there's nothing wrong with saying in Jesus' name we pray, but they make you think that you have to give the message to Jesus and then Jesus takes it to God. But in all reality, it was me talking to God, and I know God heard me because I seen that thing show up that I asked for. And I'm like, oh my God. And then even when it happens, it happens on time.
On time. Right when you need it.
Right when you need it at the
or sometimes when you least expect it. The timing of it all.
It'd be so beautiful.
Yeah.
If it was on my time, it wouldn't even hit right.
Type shit.
You know what I'm saying?
It might hit.
It may hit, but it ain't
hit
gonna
be like that.
Like when God.
It's like when you find a little when you find a little extra money in your pocket. I mean,
or on the ground.
On the ground.
And you know you needed gas.
It just feels
and you walk past a $20 bill.
Yeah.
You be like, ooh.
Feel different than like you owe me $20.
Or you ask somebody, or you like, yeah, don't you owe me? You scouting for
now
it.
You got it.
And now you got all this negative energy and arguments because you trying to get something when you could have just been smooth.
But that surprise blessing, that blessing of like, oh, I know. I like to walk around a lot of times just believing that blessings finna happen to me. I don't know what they are. I don't know where they're gonna come from.
But see, let's talk about blessings real quick. Because I think we got it mixed up. Let me tell you something. When you take a shit on the toilet and you wipe your ass and flush the toilet, do you know people don't say thank you God for letting me take that bow? People are dying for not. People are dying for not taking or having a bowel movement, right? So for us to get off the toilet, wipe our ass, and go about our day, you didn't even. That was a blessing in itself. We only look at blessings like I could see, touch, smell because that's what they taught us. Yeah. But at every moment, there's a blessing.
I never thought of it like that.
When I pee, shit, sneeze, if I yarn or blink, thank you, God. I don't know what they do in the ecosystem, but it happened for a reason because you designed it. When you blink, it waters your eyes. You ain't never stared and your shit got dry?
Yeah.
Okay, so the point of blinking is to keep it moisturized. We don't even thank God for our blinks.
Nah.
So there's constant blessings that we overlook. There's an enormous amount of blessings happening constantly, and it goes back to your perspective. It's all about what you take the time to see. You're rushing God on time, but you ain't even took the time to say thank you. Now, one time, people go days without speaking to God and only pray when they fucked up and wasn't manifesting their future. So now they mad when stuff is crashing, they don't know what's happening, and you didn't got out of alignment.
Right. Or they do it when they want something.
And distractions. You got to be careful. I think some distractions can be good distractions. Go ahead. Distraction. What is your definition of meditating? How do you meditate?
I meditate by closing my eyes. I like to play certain sounds that kind of clear my mind. Sometimes it depends how I feel. Sometimes I'll play nice sounds like rainforest or nature or something like that. Sometimes I'll play kind of like a white noise where it's just like sometimes I'll play sound bowls. It's just something to come back to whenever your thoughts are wandering. You let them wander, but then you always come back to that, and you come back to your breath, and you let your thoughts flow, but then you try and just think of nothing. And when you think of nothing, or you let your thoughts flow, you end up clearing a lot of the space in your head.
I think that
you sound like you do more meditating than I do. How often do you meditate?
I don't have a particular number because I could be anywhere and tell myself I need to meditate. Meditation,
like on average,
I don't know, maybe 2-3 times a day. Sometimes,
wow.
It's a day that I go without meditating. Meditation for me though is getting into the place where you are aware that there's a million things going on around you, and you let that be known and say, I say, anything that I picked up on today that does not serve me or benefit me moving forward, I want to release those thoughts and weigh in on what I should take from what I received today through my eyes, ear, touch, and smell. And then I've become so good at it. My thoughts, they don't run wild. They run wild during the day, but not in meditation. I know that that's the place where I come, where I may not even ask for anything, but just be more grateful and just let God know, hey, I'm in your presence right now, to just show you physically I'm willing to sit and listen if it was something you had to tell me.
Right.
And thank you for the signs that you put out.
Right.
So I want to acknowledge all of that first. And then I like this method that I found on on Instagram, where you take a deep breath and you inhale a second one very quickly. You want to do it together?
Let's do it.
Okay. So
I'm gonna follow you.
Okay. And what that does is it immediately puts your whole system into calmness.
Mm-hmm.
And once I feel that feeling, it's like an intimate feeling without sex. It's a feel good aura that comes on you. That's when I begin the meditation once I get there, because I know that I'm in my spirit self, and I'm feeling a feeling that I don't feel with all my other emotions. And I give that to God. I'm here. I'm right here. And I know that you are here feeling and listening to me. And my body is calm. I'm not out of order. I'm not emotional. So that's what meditation is for me. And there isn't a time on how long you do it, or you can do it short. If you can get that intimate feeling quick, you've already done it. That's the main point that you need.
A little
to connect.
bit helps anyway. Like, even if you can't do it for 30 minutes to an hour, like something is better than nothing.
Absolutely. And especially if you're at work or you're dealing with your kids, family matters, or abrupt situation that may happen, that's how you take that deep breath and you immediately find calmness so that you can move through the obstacle a lot quicker than you would if you was using your emotions. So that's where I'm at with it. It still is a journey. I don't like to put time like a long journey or short. It's just is what it is.
I mean, it's a forever thing. Like, I have a song called Better. And it's basically about my obsession to just for growth, period. And people always think man, what does success look like for you? Like, when you get here, you're going to be happy or something like that. But that's not really the thing. The journey is the ending of the journey is you die. You're done. Yeah, that's it. It was all about the journey, getting there. And it's beautiful when you at the end of the journey and then you can look back and be like, wow. But it's even more beautiful when you're there. Yeah, doing it. You're always going to be on that journey until you old and decrepit. Like, when you old, you might have struggles to walk. So you want to go on walks more so that you can make sure that you walking with your grandkids, walking with your great grandkids. Like, life is a forever journey until the very end. And it's not some particular thing that you get to that's going to make you happy. The end is all that you have done. You got to be happy every step of the way and enjoy it and be able to look around as you walk and be like, bitch, we moving. Facts. You know what I mean? That's the whole best part about it. But I want to say it sounds the same, peace and success, because it's not a place. It's in you. And it's when you decide that that's when it's taking place. It ain't on you, it's in you. That part. Okay. So I hope that everyone was able to see where me and Mozzie was coming from. I think that we both have done the necessary work, and it's always a beautiful thing when you can help others to find their place. Even if it don't come from us, just at least being able to express it. I truly appreciate you for coming on the show and giving your time, spending time with me, and those that are watching. Thank you for spending your time on How Is Life Behind Your Lens.
It's the new me.